In the next 20 minutes, your perception of reality is about to change forever. While you believe you are sitting still and safe in your seat, the truth is that you, your home, and the entire planet Earth are plummeting at 600 kilometers per second toward a blind spot in the darkness of the cosmos. You have been lied to about the calmness of the universe. Out there exist planets made of pure diamond, rains of glass that slice like razor blades, and voids so immense that light gets lost within them. But nothing compares to the invisible monster that is hunting us right now. We have compiled the 6 most incredible and terrifying places in the known universe, and our journey begins right here, with the titanic force hidden behind the stars that is dragging our galaxy toward a fatal and inevitable destiny. Number 1. The gravitational anomaly.
Right now, as you listen to these words, you feel like you are standing still. Perhaps you are sitting or lying down, feeling the safety of the ground beneath your feet. Everything seems static, calm, and silent. But that is a lie, a perfect illusion designed by our own limited perception. The reality is far more violent and terrifying. In this very second, you, your home, your city, and the entire planet Earth are being dragged through the void. We are not drifting aimlessly. We are falling. We are being hunted by something we cannot see, something that has been pulling at us since before the first human was ever born. The numbers are difficult for the human mind to process. We are moving at 600 kilometers per second. I repeat, 600 kilometers per second. At that speed, you could travel from London to New York in less than 10 seconds. But it's not just us moving. Our sun and the billions of stars that make up the Milky Way are traveling together, like a school of fish fleeing a predator in the dark ocean. For decades, astronomers thought this motion was random, a result of the Big Bang. But in 1986, they discovered that this movement wasn't an expansion, it was a capture. If we are being dragged away so violently, why can't we see what is pulling us? This is where the universe plays a cruel joke. The thing that is claiming us is hidden behind the one thing that blocks our view, our own galaxy. The dust, gas, and blinding light of the Milky Way's center create an impenetrable wall that astronomers call the zone of avoidance. It is a blind spot in the cosmos, a black curtain hiding the titan pulling the strings of our destiny. For years, we stared into that darkness, unaware that on the other side, something was staring back with a gravitational force equivalent to a quadrillion suns. We had to learn to look in X-rays to pierce through the fog, and what we found redefined our place in existence. We are not a lonely galaxy. We belong to a colossal structure, a galaxy supercluster spanning 500 million light-years. Scientists named it loneliest, which means immeasurable heaven in Hawaiian. It is a neural network of light and matter, beautiful and gigantic. But even loneliest has a drainage point, a focal point where all rivers of gravity flow, and we are on the periphery, sliding inevitably toward the heart of the beast. They called it the Great Attractor. It is not a conventional black hole. It is something far vaster. It is a gravitational anomaly of such absurd density that it bends the fabric of space-time as if it were wet paper. It is devouring not just stars, but entire galaxies. Imagine millions of civilizations, if they exist, being crushed and fused together in a region of space where physics as we know it begins to fail. It is the drain of the local universe, and although it will take billions of years for us to get there, the sentence has already been passed. Gravity is the only law that allows no appeals. However, recently, the most powerful telescopes detected something that made the scientific community's blood run cold. When analyzing the speed at which we are moving toward the Great Attractor, the numbers didn't add up. We were going too fast.
The pull of the great attractor wasn't enough to explain our suicidal velocity, so they looked further, beyond the great attractor, and they realized the truth. The great attractor is not the end of the journey. It is a victim too. There is something much larger behind it, something monstrous called the Shapley supercluster, dragging the great attractor and us along with it. In the universe, there is always a bigger fish, and ours just awakened the hunger of a God we do not yet understand. But if you think being devoured by gravity is the strangest fate awaiting us, brace yourself, because the place we will visit in the next episode won't kill you with brute force, but with the most precious and lethal material in existence.
Number 2. The Diamond Hell. On Earth, wars have been fought over shiny stones. We kill for diamonds. We enslave for them. They are the ultimate symbol of wealth and rarity. But the universe mocks our obsession. 40 light-years away from where you sit, there is a world that makes the entire global economy look like a grain of sand. Imagine a planet twice the size of Earth, where the ground beneath your feet isn't made of rock or soil, it is made of pure crystal. A place where diamonds are not rare, they are the dirt. But before you dream of mining it, you must understand one thing. This is not a treasure chest. It is a furnace designed to incinerate anything that dares to get close. Welcome to 55 Cancri E. This super-Earth is locked in a terrifying embrace with its host star, Copernicus. It orbits so close that a full year here lasts only 18 hours. If you stood on the surface, the sun would appear 70 times larger than ours, hanging motionless in the sky, a roaring monster that never sets. This proximity creates a permanent day side and a permanent night side. On the day side, temperatures soar above 2,400 degrees Celsius. It is hot enough to melt iron, liquefy rock, and vaporize human flesh in a fraction of a second. But the heat is the architect of the miracle. Because this planet is rich in carbon, the intense pressure and scorching temperatures have crushed the planet's mantle into a crystalline structure. Scientists believe that a third of the planet's mass could be pure diamond. To put a number on it, $26 nonillion. That is 26 followed by 30 zeros. It is enough wealth to buy the entire planet Earth billions of times over. Yet no human hand will ever touch it. The atmosphere is likely filled with hydrogen cyanide, a deadly poison, and the surface flows with lava that acts like a superfluid, moving with zero friction. Recent studies suggest an even stranger phenomenon. The extreme temperature difference between the day side and the night side might create windstorms moving faster than sound. But these winds don't carry dust. They might carry clouds of graphite and silicate vapor. On the Terminator line, the twilight zone between day and night, it is possible that the sky sparkles, not with rain, but with diamond dust condensing from the atmosphere. It is a glittering hurricane of death, a world of absolute beauty that kills you instantly in 3 different ways: heat, poison, and pressure. 55 Cancri E teaches us that too much of a good thing is a curse. It is a world of light, fire, and wealth. But the universe is a place of balance. For every world that burns with blinding light, there is another that exists in absolute, suffocating darkness. We are leaving the fire behind. Our next destination is not a planet. It is not a star. It is a graveyard, a place so empty and so cold that if you were dropped in the middle of it, you wouldn't just freeze. You would wonder if the universe had ceased to exist entirely. Prepare yourself. We are entering the largest void known to man.
Number 3. The Great Nothing.
We are accustomed to a crowded sky. Wherever we look, we see stars, nebulas, and the glowing bands of the Milky Way. We think the universe is a web of lights. But in 1981, astronomer Robert Kirshner discovered a glitch in the matrix, a hole. Located in the direction of the constellation Boötes, there is a spherical region of space nearly 330 million light-years in diameter. It is a super void.
If the universe were a block of Swiss cheese, this would be the biggest hole in history. It is a place where structure simply stops. To understand how empty this place is, consider this. If our galaxy, the Milky Way, were located in the center of the Boötes Void, we wouldn't have known that other galaxies existed until the 1960s. For all of human history, when looking up at the night sky, we would have seen nothing but absolute blackness surrounding our own stars. No Andromeda, no distant spirals, no cosmic web. Just us, alone in an infinite abyss. It is a terrifying thought experiment that proves how much our environment shapes our understanding of reality. But the Boötes Void is not completely empty, and that is perhaps the scariest part. In a region this size, there should be at least 10,000 galaxies. We have found only 60. 60 solitary islands drifting in a dark ocean that stretches for millions of light years. How did they get there? Are they survivors, or were they cast out? These galaxies are the loneliest objects in the universe, separated by such vast distances that they will likely never interact, never collide, and never know of each other's existence. The anomaly is so strange that it has birthed wild theories. Why is this region so empty compared to the rest of the universe? Some physicists suggest it is just a statistical fluke of gravity, but others, whispering on the fringes of science, ask a darker question. What if it wasn't always empty? What if a Type 3 civilization, millions of years more advanced than us, began expanding, dismantling stars and galaxies to build Dyson spheres, slowly dimming the lights of an entire sector of the universe? It is unlikely, but looking at that darkness, you cannot help but wonder if something is hiding in the dark. The Boötes Void is a horror of silence and absence. It is the cold vacuum realized to its extreme. But as we leave the darkness behind, we head towards something that looks deceptively familiar. Our next stop is a planet that from a distance looks like a twin of Earth. It is a beautiful, deep azure blue sphere. It looks like a paradise of water and life. But do not be fooled. This blue color does not come from oceans. It comes from a weather system so violent and alien that it turns the atmosphere into a blender. We are going to a world where the rain will slice you to ribbons.
Number 4. The planet of raining glass. From a distance, it looks like a miracle, a deep azure blue marble floating against the black velvet of space. Looking at it, you feel an instinctual pull. It reminds us of the Pacific Ocean. It reminds us of home. You might think it is a water world, a sanctuary of calm seas and clear skies. But this planet, HD 189733b, is the universe's most vicious trap. That beautiful blue color is not a reflection of water. It is the color of light scattering through an atmosphere of pure terror. If you were to descend into that blue haze, the first thing that would hit you is the wind. On Earth, a Category 5 hurricane tears roofs off houses with winds of 250 kilometers per hour. Here, the winds scream at 8,700 kilometers per hour. That is 7 times the speed of sound. If you were floating in this atmosphere, you wouldn't just be blown away, you would be carried around the entire planet in a matter of hours. The wind here doesn't just push, it creates shock waves that would pulverize biological matter instantly. But the wind is not the executioner. The true horror lies in what the wind carries. The reason this planet is blue is because its atmosphere is filled with high-altitude clouds laced with silicate particles. In other words, glass. The intense heat of the planet condenses rock into microscopic shards of glass. And because of the supersonic winds, it doesn't just rain down, it rains sideways. Imagine a storm of millions of razor-sharp glass needles flying at 7,000 kilometers per hour. It is a blender of global proportions, shredding anything in its path. This planet is a hot Jupiter.
It orbits its star so closely that the temperature exceeds 1,000 degrees Celsius. This heat is what keeps the glass molten and the atmosphere in a constant state of violence. There is no surface to stand on, no ocean to swim in, just an endless deep abyss of superheated gas and flying razors. It is a place that looks like heaven from the outside, but operates like the deepest circle of hell on the inside. A reminder that in space, beauty is often a warning sign. We leave the raining glass behind, battered by the violence of the cosmos. So far, we have seen gravity that crushes, diamonds that burn, emptiness that haunts, and glass that shreds. But life needs water. And you might think water is rare in the universe. You are wrong. What if I told you there is a reservoir floating in space that holds 140 trillion times the water of all Earth's oceans combined? It isn't a planet, it is a monster feeding on a black hole, and it's the wettest, most powerful generator of energy we have ever found.
Number 5. The universe's greatest ocean.
Water. It is the elixir of life, the very foundation of our existence. On Earth, we cherish every drop, fighting over access to this precious resource. We search for it on Mars, dream of it on distant moons. But what if our perception of water's rarity is fundamentally flawed? What if the universe contains oceans so vast they defy comprehension, not hidden on a planet, but floating in the very heart of galactic chaos? 42 billion light-years away in the constellation Lynx, there is a place that holds more water than we can ever imagine. This is APM 08279+5255, a distant quasar powered by a supermassive black hole. Quasars are the brightest objects in the universe, radiating more energy than 1,000 galaxies combined. The black hole at its center is 20 billion times more massive than our sun, tirelessly devouring everything in its path. It is a cosmic engine of destruction, ripping apart stars, gas, and dust, and converting their matter into blinding light and radiation. But here, in this maelstrom of destruction, scientists made an astonishing discovery in 2011. Surrounding the black hole, in the swirling clouds of gas and dust that feed the quasar, there is an immense reservoir of water vapor, 140 trillion times more water than all the oceans of Earth combined. This is the largest and most distant reservoir of water ever found in the universe. It is enough water to fill 1 million Milky Way galaxies. The water exists in an environment of unimaginable extremes. Temperatures are a scorching 300 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is 10 to 100 times greater than Earth's atmosphere. Yet, it is water. This discovery challenges our understanding of where and how life-enabling elements can exist. It suggests that water, often thought of as rare, might be an omnipresent component of the early universe, even in the most hostile environments. It makes you wonder if life, too, could find a way in conditions we deem impossible. This supermassive black hole, feeding on an ocean of water, is a testament to the universe's paradoxical nature, destruction and creation existing side by side. It shows us that even in the most violent places, the ingredients for life are abundant. But what if a place existed that was only creation? A place where the very fabric of reality is being woven, stretched, and birthed into new forms. A place not of destruction, but of endless expansion, a cosmic nursery. We have seen the end of galaxies, the deadly beauty of diamond worlds, the void and the raining glass. Now, prepare to witness the beginning. Our final journey takes us to the edge of time itself.
Number 6. The ghost of creation. We have traveled to the edges of gravity, survived hellish planets, and stared into the abyss of the void. But for the final chapter of our journey, we arrive at the most famous structure in the sky. 7,000 light-years away from Earth, in the constellation Serpens, rise 3 colossal towers of cold molecular gas and dust. We call them the Pillars of Creation.
They are the cathedrals of the cosmos. The tallest pillar stands 4 light-years high, twice the distance from our sun to the nearest star. They look solid, like stone monuments built by ancient gods, but they are more ephemeral than smoke. Inside these towering clouds, something violent and beautiful is happening. Gravity is collapsing knots of gas so dense that they ignite. These are not just rocks, they are eggs. Inside the pillars, new stars are being born right now, hundreds of them. As they ignite, they blast out fierce ultraviolet radiation, eroding the very pillars that created them. It is a cosmic tragedy. The children are slowly destroying the parent. These massive young stars are sculpting the clouds, carving out the iconic shapes we see today, creating a masterpiece through destruction. If you look closely at the tips of the pillars, you will see tiny finger-like protrusions. Astronomers call them EGGs, evaporating gaseous globules. It is a funny name for something so profound. Each one of these tiny bumps is roughly the size of our entire solar system. Inside them, embryonic solar systems are forming. Planets, moons, perhaps even future Earths are currently being forged in the dark. You are looking at the prehistory of a world that might one day look back at us. It is the same process that created our sun 4.5 billion years ago. We are looking at our own reflection in the mirror of time. But here is the twist that breaks the human mind. The image you are seeing doesn't exist anymore. Light takes 7,000 years to travel from the Eagle Nebula to Earth. We are looking at a snapshot from the past. Evidence suggests that a supernova exploded nearby about 6,000 years ago. The shock wave from that explosion would have already toppled these pillars. They have likely been destroyed, scattered into the winds of space. But because of the speed limit of light, we won't see their destruction for another 1,000 years. We are admiring ghosts. We are worshiping a monument that has already fallen. And so our journey ends where it began, in the cycle of the universe. From the terrifying pull of the Great Attractor to the diamond storms of Cancer. From the lonely silence of the Boötes Void to the burning nurseries of the Eagle Nebula. We have seen that the universe is violent, indifferent, and terrifyingly large. But it is also generous. Every atom in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your mind, was forged in places like these. We are not just observers of this incredible story. We are the story. We are the way the universe knows itself. Keep looking up. The show has only just begun. We have crossed the known universe, from the darkness of the Great Attractor to the light of creation, but this is only the beginning. Every point of light in the sky is a story waiting to be told, and we have only just opened the first page. If this journey blew your mind as much as it did mine, hit the like button and let me know in the comments which of these places terrified you the most. Subscribe so you don't miss our next expedition, because there are infinite worlds left to discover out there. Keep looking up at the stars. See you soon.